We're going unscripted today, folks. AI art has been popping up in the scene. Metal Meltdown had a great discussion on that. You guys should go check out his video if you haven't already. I kind of wanted to weigh in here and get your thoughts on this because Unleash the Archers is in a little bit of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
What have you heard?
Well, basically their latest music video, they used AI to do the video in some form. What I think is interesting about it is the band genuinely tried to do this in an ethical and interesting artistic way, and the fans are still extremely angry with them.
There has been legal implications here about the usage of AI and large language models in how they're using copywritten material. A lot of litigation is now out there kind of going against a lot of these major AI companies. That's why when you say the word ethical, there really is there's kind of a line in the sand to be drawn here.
We can jump into it with Metal Injection's latest article because I think they cover it in a pretty interesting way. Unleash the Archers recently announced that their new record, Phantoma, alongside the release of their new single, Green and Glass, it features heavily used AI elements.
Okay.
And the music video was directed by Danny Gaver and Adam Junio at RuneGate Studio. In their own words, they basically said that it was created in the Unreal 5 engine and animated in Stable Diffusion with AI models trained on licensed artwork. Now, here is where the distinction is. AI models like Stable Diffusion are trained on just everybody's artwork. And personally, I have a problem with that because the artist never gave permission for these models to use their work to create things.
Yep.
So the fact that Unleash the Archers actually understood this issue as a big band, in my personal opinion, I feel like that they're kind of trailblazing something new here. I feel like this is more of a narrative that the fans are running with and not actually paying attention and listening, because the band received pretty hefty blowback from the video. There was a ton of effort put into it. There's clearly an artist was making decisions with the video. Let's take a look at it real quick and you'll kind of see what I mean.
Okay. And so they had permission, they worked with this artist and licensed his work.
And trained the model on his work.
Okay, that sounds like the way to do it versus doing an open chat GPT.
Yeah, and look,
Dolly
dude, they even say it right here in the freaking video. This video was created using AI with character models trained exclusively on a body of work licensed from an artist specifically. I love that they put this in the video because it's prefaced. Personally, I think for the vibe of the album, they were going for this sort of future world thing.
Like a cyberpunk kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think the AI piece of that's kind of artistic.
Yeah. For sure.
You can see that this is, Britney Slays as some sort of AI robotic kind of thing. So immediately you can see that the style is similar to the artist itself. The AI is picking up on the style and the artist gave permission to do this. So in my opinion, if the band is doing their due diligence and going through the homework and actually acknowledging the artist, I don't see a flag to be thrown here, right?
No, I agree with you 100%. They've laid it all out very clearly.
Well, I think here's where it does get a little bit confusing, because basically there's this piece of this argument where Stable Diffusion, the AI generated software, is pulling from a larger pool of artists that are outside of that artist that they contacted. There was unlicensed artwork used alongside Bradshaw's artwork. So let's just get into what the band said. I think that kind of gives a little bit more clarity. So This is the band. Wow, what a week. There have been a lot of posts and discussion about our new music video, its use of AI, and we were expecting some controversy. We weren't expecting as much as we got. Our goal with the video was to create it in a way that was credited and compensated all parties while allowing us to utilize technology relevant to the subject matter of our music to achieve a style that was previously unavailable to a band of our size. We thought that we had covered the issue, but through posts from the community at large, as well as conversations with both Bo and RuneGate, we now know that this is not the case given the process to use to make the video. So I do think that there is a little bit of a problem there. I'm not too familiar with the software, but I wonder if there is a way to only train it on one artist's work.
So that's what I was under the impression of as well. There is a way to create localized LLMs, as they call them, large language models. And that is what, what we think of as going to ChatGPT and stuff. It's all in the background and stuff. It's all large language models that's happening. This is essentially what Brandon was just talking about. Feel free to check it out on Wikipedia. It's a nice summary of what is going on as far as the controversy and litigation behind the usage of stable diffusion in copyrighted material is. So I was definitely under the impression that you can work with a particular artist and input all that in, but that you're probably going to need like a beastly computer and stuff to really generate something in Unreal Engine 5. That's a very high-end application.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the distinction there is you're still taking the art from whatever the AI is giving you and making artistic decisions with it. I don't think the video was made by AI. I think an artist took stuff from AI and made the video.
That makes sense. Yep.
So there was some design decisions that were still made. And when you generate the images, you get sets of images. So you are in the loop in a sense. So I think it's important to understand that the band's intentions here were actually really good. They go to say this in the article. The use of Stable Diffusion's base features, which pull from uncredited source material, means we necessarily used unlicensed work. So they're acknowledging that that's potentially a problem with what they did here. We used phrases like artwork by Bo Bradshaw in some of our previous social media posts, but that's not a fair characterization of his involvement. Bo did not have artistic input on the animation. While we did send the video to him prior to releasing and asking his thoughts, the video was essentially finished at that point. Ah, okay.
Dude, now we're muddying the waters, dude. Now it's getting kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I really respect and love this band, they're unbelievably talented. There is some gray area here that I kind of understand a little bit of the blowback, and I think the band understands it too, which I think is important. As fans, I think we need to give credit to bands that make mistakes and understand that.
Credit and grace, you know, a little bit.
The band genuinely thought, and they even say this in the article, our final thought was that we genuinely tried to do this in a way that would be ethical. We missed the mark on that. They are absolutely admitting fault.
I appreciate that, yeah.
As musicians and artists and how we navigate this new world, I think it's really important that we start, like you said, giving grace and giving credit when we make mistakes like this.
All right, more after the fact info and a good segue into our next section here. So there have been bands that are using AI art just kind of willy-nilly. They're not going the route that Unleash the Archers have, you know, saying, hey, we wanted to do this ethically, we wanted to do this with the other artists and copyright in mind, etc., etc. We have bands like Hour of Penance, who have come out with AI artwork, you know, their use of that. Here's an article here on Metal Injection. And this is the album art in question, it looks like, and they got some backlash about that. They even had to come out with a nice little oopsie, sorry about that. We also have bands like Pestilence. This is on Forbes. I was kind of surprised to see it on Forbes. Very well-known band, death metal band, you know, and opponents called the cover lifeless and soulless and a big slap in the face to any real living artists in this world. Deicide, another one. This is on knowyourmeme.com. I was kind of surprised. So Deicide came out with their album art Banished by Sin. And where did that awful AI generated Deicide album cover come from? It's not on Deicide's official website, it's on any of their socials. I think this is fan made fake, blah 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 blah. So who knows? But it seems like some of these bands are just simply not either aware or caring about the sort of murky waters are, you know, getting dredged up here as far as copyright and, you know, illegal usage of people's material.
Now, there's another band that's doing the whole AI thing, but everybody seems to love it. And I feel like this is a little bit of a hypocrisy when you think about it.
Okay.
This is a band that kind of popped up less than a year ago. They're called Frostbite Orckings. Everything about this band is supposedly AI. The music is AI, the visuals are AI, everything is AI.
It looks like a Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness cutscene.
Yes, even the lyrics are AI. Sounds like Amon Amarth.
Yeah, basically. It's pretty convincing, dude. I mean, first of all, we live in like a day and age where like this kind of production just sounds normal now at this point.
Yeah, and bedroom producers can make albums that sound really good. And if you look at this is almost a year ago, over 400,000 views. I think where the difference is here, they literally came out saying we are an AI band. Completely just, we know it's a gimmick. The band's literally called Frostbite Orckings. It's a full-blown gimmick. No one really batted an eye at this.
I could see some like blatant, Amon Amarth.
They're clearly trained their models on Amon Amarth, just melodic death metal in general. Even the vocals sound like Johan.
What's up, everybody? It's Ben Foe After the Fact. So I have the Frostbite Orckings Metal Archives page right here, as you can see. What is interesting to me here is in regards to the music, Musical Bits states that they use newly composed music from hired session musicians to feed their learning algorithm rather than relying on other artists' copyrighted songs. Okay? So that's an interesting thing here that I noticed that we didn't realize during the recording of the video. That, man, I'm skeptical to believe that. Really, I'm pretty skeptical to believe that hard and fast, only because the biggest benefit and the biggest draw to AI is that you're using something that's already been created, right? So I applaud that they came out and said that, yeah, we're doing this ethically and we're not ripping off other people's music. It just seems like an extra step, right, that you would have to go through. If you're going to record, let's say, 80 hours worth of riffs, and you're going to segment the riffs or however you feed into the large language model, right, it just seems like a process and an extra step that doesn't need to be had. Like, wouldn't you just record that music and make the band out of it and not have it, and maybe just have the music be real life and then the characters be AI? It just seems like more work, right? And we are of a generation and of an age where, we don't want to do more work, right? So I'm a little skeptical of that. What do you think? Let us know down below, and on with the rest of the video.
If you're gonna get mad about AI art with bands, I think it needs to be just across the board, and as fans, we gotta hold these bands accountable, because at the end of the day, this band, they trained their music on bands that sound like this. They trained the visuals on art from other people.
That's absolutely true. I could definitely see, like Blizzard being like, that looks kind of familiar.
Looks like Warcraft 3, like cinematics.
Straight up, dude, yeah.
So unfortunately, AI art, I think, is here to stay. If you look at artwork nowadays, like, artists are starting to just be like, oh, I can use this as a tool. They'll be like, I need a tree. And then they'll create a tree, pick the best tree out of everything in the lineup for Stable Diffusion or whatever, drop it in as a reference, and then they paint that tree in their own style. I think that's where we're starting to see it being used, is as a tool for content creation. And I think that is honestly how it should be used.
I agree.
But if you're flat out doing things without an artist's permission, not involving those artists and kind of building things up on that, I think that's where we as fans should be a little bit upset about that.
So really what it comes down to, folks, is that we want you to support real life working artists, just as we do. We contracted Moonroot's logo to do our Forgemaster logo. He has done tons of logos and is just doing amazing stuff. We've also got guys like Eleron Cantor, who is really one of the premier album art creators and illustrators at this time. The dude is just doing incredible stuff. We've talked about him before on this channel. We've also got services like allforband.com. You want some logos and emblem designs and things like that? Yeah, check it out, There's all kinds of stuff out there. It's not as underground and niche as it used to be. metalcover.art, you know. Some of this might be AI, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say that all these people and all these things are 100% real. Make sure that you're doing your research if you want to truly support artists, because there can be kind of a little bit of a weird ambiguity in terms of what you're actually seeing. Vote with your money. Support real life artists. We're gonna leave some links and things like that in the description. Make sure down below in the comments you also leave artists that you really look up to and want to support and have other people support, because that's what this video is all about: supporting real life artists and making sure that the human aspect of metal art, metal logos, and metal in general just doesn't go away, because that's what it means to us. It's just such like cutting edge stuff, and I appreciate Unleash the Archers coming out with an apology, more or less. I think that shows a lot of guts. I think that shows a lot of understanding of the nuances of the situation. I wish they had done a little more research. Wish they had maybe realized, shit, if like we truly want to be like an off the grid large LLM, that would have been a lot of hours of research for them. That would have been a lot of processing power. They probably would have had to like buy a machine.
They're also not a giant band. They're big bands, but they are not like a multi-million-dollar huge generating band. So I kind of get where they're coming from.
Right. But I also see the hypocrisy too in Frostbite Orckings. It's weird landscape, dude. We live in like this weird, like cutting edge kind of thing. And like, you know, we look back at like videos like with Dire Straits and they're weird.
Wasn't that like the first MTV music video?
I think it was. Yeah. It's kind of a weird, you know, shifting landscape, but I appreciate the band wanting to be ethical about it, and we should check ourselves in terms of like where we stand, like in a wide swath.
If you're gonna create art that involves other artists, involve the other artists. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think. This was sort of a free-form video. We just wanted your input and wanted to talk about something that was really cool. We love you guys so much. Check out one of our other videos right here.
Go with the gods, Forgemates. Stay frostbitten and cybernetic.
I need to know how Skynet gets built.